Okay, today we're going to be looking at a game called Into the Breach. It's a cyberpunk themed deck building hacking game. The quick elevator pitch for it would be a cyberpunk version of Slay the Spire. Okay, not exactly the same thing. Game is still in pretty early access. It's got quite a bit of content to it at the moment. But like some of the stuff that's referenced on here, like Ursula Genma, a mother with a checker past trying to save her daughter from a dangerous situation, and apparently she's a member of this clan. Well, there's not a whole lot of stuff behind any of this yet. You can do runs, but there's no overarching progression. Like if I do a run and I beat the run, then it doesn't give me any bonuses on the next run, which I guess it doesn't in Slay the Spire either. Each run is its own individual run, which is the same thing here. So I'm just going to give you a quick demonstration, or we're going to go through one run. I might make it, I might fail miserably, but at least you'll see what the gameplay is like. So I'm going to choose Ursa. And here, right now you can choose these runs. I got a beginner run, tutorial run, expert, and intermediate. We're going to do the beginner run. And you see it's got a little difficulty slider difficulty thing next to it. So I'm going to do this, and then beginner run against the Adonis Digital Group. I don't know if these change or not. The description, just simply hone your skills against a weaker grid. I'm imagining that once the game gets closer to full release, there'll be more story and progression. Has one layer, like a dungeon. There's multiple layers. This one only has one. There's fewer sentinels. Sentinels are the monsters you fight against. And nodes are the things that you hack, or the little treasure boxes, basically. So we're going to start our run. We start here, and then we have these gates. We open up these gates. So since we're in the starter node, this gate can be opened up, just by clicking on it. Up here, we have what's called your trace level, which is like the alarm. Which is kind of like the alarm. It's a trace level. Once that gets to 10, then the alarm level goes up. Once the alarm level goes up, then some more sentinels will spawn in the world that you might have to fight. Drivers are kind of like artifacts from Slay the Spire. Sorry that I keep comparing it to Slay the Spire, but that's the best analogy I can come up with. Those are permanent bonuses that are always available to you. You don't start off with any in here. Repo is your deck. See, right now I have 10 cards. Integrity is your health. Once that gets down to 0, obviously you're dead. Hash keys are just some little things you can pick up that you can exchange for mini bonuses and stuff like that. Tools are one-shot items, like you can get something that disables, that automatically breaks open a door or disables a sentinel, something like that. Skills are one-shot use things, like I can use this to select a reveal cluster and choose 3 buffs for that combat inside there. Or I can select an area on the grid, and everything that I do in there costs 1 less trace, which is up here, which means I have to open up a lot of stuff in one particular cluster. I could use this, and the trace won't go up. And Blink is a really good one. It lets you just teleport to any place that you can see. Intel, as you can see, it's got a little money sign in front of it. That's the money that you can use. Now, command, as you are playing, each time you play a card, you can build up something called Vim. Okay, and once you get a certain amount of Vim, then you can spend that Vim to get a bonus or a bonus action or something like that in here. You'll see it in a minute. But right now I'm going to change this to gain 2 grit. No, I'm going to change it to feral, so that during my battle against the sentinel, once I have 6 Vim, I can use this to gain 2 feral. Sorry. And feral gives me bonus damage. Now I could have used grit, which will give me bonus defense if I want to use that. Or this draw an extra card, which I don't really find too useful at the moment. And then if I get 10 Vim, I can set it so that I'll have one of these available. I usually leave it to this one. Draw 3 cards and then choose 1 card to discard. And critical, I usually do this one. Choose a card from your repo and play it for free. Now, you don't get to use this one too often. As you can see, that they've got more coming soon. And the commands that are available to you are based on who you've chosen as your runner. Now, right now we're using Ursa, so I'm going to go ahead and pop open this door. The only thing that bothers me about this game right now is sometimes the button you have to press is down here, and sometimes the button you have to press is up here. But right now it's this one. We're going to go through here. I don't know if you can hear the music or not, or the sound effects. I'm not going to worry about it too much at the moment. Use WASD keys to move around so you can see. Now, this is all I can see. Now, every time you open up a door, it generates the next thing. Now, this is a pretty tough one. I've never seen one that's quite as tough as this. I've got 3 sentinels right off the bat. Now, I can go here and hack this node without ever touching the sentinel, but to get to this one, or to get to this door, I would have to go through at least this one sentinel here. And you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 nodes on this one. And there's this thing here called a watcher. So every time you enter in combat, I'm going to get +1 trace. So if I fight this guy, that means my trace level is going to go up. And usually these nodes, like this compiler here, if I click on this thing, like I said, there's like treasure boxes. I could take 80 intel from it, and nothing's going to happen. I just get the 80 intel, which is money. Now, if I use exploit, which gives me 3 cards that I can choose to take, then that's going to raise the trace level by 1. And then there's this also this rehash down here, which I can't use at the moment because it requires one of these hash keys, which I don't have at the moment. If I had that, then the trace would go up. I would lose a hash key, but I would get to choose between 4 cards instead of 3. So I'm going to go ahead and use this exploit right now. And like I said, since I can go here, the Sentinel's not going to do anything to me. Now, these are the 3 cards I can choose from. This gold one here is rare. I really kind of like this one, but I've never seen these other 2 before. So Searing's Blessing. It's a defense card. It's uncommon. Again, 20 barrier. The next card you play this turn will give you double barrier. So I would have to play 2 barrier cards. This one, Inflict 3 Exposed, which increases the damage they take, reduces the damage they do. I get an extra card when I'm drawing. And decompile means it's one shot. So once I play this, then it goes away. Now I really like this card later on if I get access to an upgrader, so I can change it. So right now this takes clock 3, which means that I could only play this card on a turn. I play this card and basically my turn's over. Later on, if I get access to an upgrader, I can make it so that it's clock 2, so that I can at least play this and play one other card. And then here, I've never seen this one before, Fragmented Data, Corrupted type card that has no effect and is decompiled at the end of your turn. So it's a harmful card type removed from your repo after combat by default. So I can play it, I gain 50 barrier, but it adds a dead card to my hand, basically. So I'm going to go ahead and take Battle Optimizer like normal, or if I didn't want to take anything, I could hold this down, skip. Let's go here. Now, I know what you really want to see, so we're going to go. Now, I can't get to here, and I can't get to this door, because you can see that I almost pointed at the screen. Now, hopefully, you can't see me in my room, can you? Anyway, you can see I can't get to any place else unless I go through the Sentinel. Now, I can't do anything to this. And I can't get to this, which is a printer. And I can't get to this without going through this. I have to at least go through this Sentinel. No matter what, I'm going to have to go through this Sentinel. Now, some of the doors have open conditions. Like this one, I have to use all the nodes in this cluster. That means I would have to interact with all these in order to open that up. Or this one, I can open it up by defeating these 3 Sentinels. So if I defeat these 3 Sentinels and interact with all these nodes, then both of these doors will be open. But no matter what, we have to fight this dude. So let's go. So like this is what I was saying. Now here, the start combat's up here. In the other one, in the other screen, the button that I had to press on was down here. Just a minor nitpick. I know nobody cares, but I care. I care. Anyway, start combat is going to give me +2 trace once I defeat this guy. Hopefully I defeat this guy. All right, here it is. We got our little ninja person here. This is your ice intrusion counter measures. Now this one has got 2 things I can attack. Now when I use my cards to attack, I can either attack the Mantle Dia directly, or I can attack her cloak. If I do 40 damage to her cloak, that means that her cloak will go away. She'll get 1 exposed, and like other status conditions in other games, I'm not going to say that game's name again, but in other games, that status condition counts down 1 every turn. But she'll also gain 8 barrier. Now we don't know over here. Normally, it shows you what your opponent's going to do when it's their turn. But since she's got this cloak on, we don't get to see what she's going to do. Now, like I said, here's my Battle Optimizer. I can use this right now, which is going to give me cash for 2 turns, which means next turn I'll draw an extra card, and the turn after that I'll draw an extra card, and then she's got these 3 status effects. Now, over here is my clock, which is basically your action points. So that card used up all 3 of my action points. But now I can use Unstable Charge, which has a clock cost of 0. If you used at least 1 command, which is a card this turn, then I generate 1 extra Vim. Now when I played my Combat Enhancer, I got 5 Vim. Now I can play this, and it basically gives me a Vim for free. Now I could use my Roar now, but it would give me 2 Feral now, but I don't have any more cards to play. So then I would basically lose a turn's worth of Feral. So I'm going to wait till my next turn to play Feral, assuming I survive, because she gets to attack me for free since I didn't take any defensive measures. But she does have weakened damage at the moment, so hopefully she won't be able to do 300 points of damage to me. Hopefully the very first thing that I fight won't be able to do 300 points of damage to me. And you see she did 21 points of damage, and now it's a new turn. Now I can use my Roar, and it doesn't cost any clock. So now I've got 2 turns worth of Feral. So all my outgoing damage is going to be increased by 5%. And here I can see she's got 120 points of integrity, and she has an 8-point barrier, which is basically a shield. So I'm going to use Amped Code Slash, or I could use Amped Code Slash, but it does 27 damage, but it costs 2 clock. No, it doesn't. Why does it have that symbol? Okay, I don't understand. All right, so I'm going to use that. Oh, that's if it's... Okay, we'll talk about that later. So I'm going to use these 2. So now I've done 27 points of damage to her. Because I was talking to you, I didn't do it on her cloak. But I'm not going to blame that on you guys right at the moment. So now all I've got is these 20 barriers. This one, this amped one, it does something special if I have 10 Vim. But I only have 4 Vim at the moment, so it doesn't do anything special. So I'm just going to go ahead and use one of my barriers. Don't know how much damage she's going to do next turn, but I have 20 shield. So I'm going to end my turn, let her take her shot. So she didn't really do anything to me. So now I'm going to go after her cloak, just so you can see that, because you can see she's got 24 shield. So I'm going to use, yeah, I don't have that yet. So I'm going to use that. Attack her shield. You see her shield goes down. I'm going to use another Code Slash. Now that breaks it. Now we can see what she looks like now that her cloak's gone. So I know that her next attack, she's going to do 21 damage to me. So now would be a good time to use one of my Cyber Shells, which will give me some barrier. And you can see now that I'm up to 10 Vim over here, I could use either one of my commands. But if I use this one, like I said, if I use that one, then I basically lose a turn of it. And if I use this one, I can draw 3 cards and choose one to discard, but it's the end of my turn. So unless I got lucky and drew one of my 0-cost cards, I would basically just be wasting my turn. So I'm going to end my turn. She's going to attack me. Since I had 20 shield, she was only able to do 1 point of actual damage to me. Now we can see exactly what she's going to do on her turn. So she's going to do 14 damage to me, and she's going to reactivate the cloak. So that thing will come back over here. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do my Code Slash. Then I'm going to use that, so it gives me an extra charge. Now, I don't think I really need to wait until I get to this. I'm going to go ahead, I've still got 2 clocks, I'm going to go ahead and do another one of these. Because she only has 24 points left. I'm going to do my Cyber Shell. So she's not going to be able to do any damage to me, but she'll get her cloak back. But now I don't have to attack her cloak, like you saw earlier. I can attack her directly. She's only got 24 points of integrity left. So I can pretty much destroy her. I'm going to go ahead and use my Roar. Just like Katy Perry. And then I'll use 2 of these to take her out. And there she goes. So now I get to, I get these rewards. I get 86 intel and I get one of those hash key things. I'm going to claim my reward. And you can see now my trace level's gone up by 2. Still don't have an alarm, but now the way has been open. I could go use this door if I wanted to, but I can't open it because I have to use all the nodes. I haven't done that yet. And I can't open this door even if I could get to it because I haven't defeated all the sentinels. I'm going to check and see what this is. The printer, I could extract 100 intel for free. Or I can obtain a random breaker tool, which I'm going to do so you fine viewers, the 2 or 3 people who still watch my channel, will see what it is. So I got this tool. So it's a gate breaker. So it unlocks a target gate. So now, over here, instead of having to use all these nodes, I can just use this tool. Just so you can see, blammo. Now that gate is open. Now I can go ahead and open the gate. And then I can see what this other cluster is. I don't have to go in here yet. I can see that this cluster has got 2 sentinels in it. It's got a render, which allows me to get some hash keys or an icebreaker. Or I can use this one, which unlocks one of these gates here, but it raises the trace level. Or I can just get another gate breaker. This one, same thing, lets me choose between 3 cards. And this one boosts my intel gain. So I don't know if I even want to go there, because this one gives me same thing basically. 2 hash keys. This one gives me reveal all clusters. So that's not really going to give me much benefit to do anything for these. I can get the same thing by going this way. When I open up a gate in here, this only opens up, this gives me 1 trace, which is no big deal. Now I could, let me see. I have to defeat these sentinels. So I defeat these 2 sentinels. Yeah, let's go here and defeat some sentinels. Now you can't tell which ones. I guess it's just randomly choosing. Let's see if I do this. So right now it's to her. All right, there she is. Let's see if it does the same thing. Nope, see? There we go. We're going to go down here and fight another sentinel. Oh, it changed while I was running. So now we got another dude. Got his clompers on top of his head. Same thing as before. I'm not going to explain everything so much anymore. But we do have his jaws, which we can attack directly. Or we can attack him directly. Now if we attack these, it doesn't do damage to his actual life points. But it does do some extra damage to him. So let's see. We're going to go ahead and use one of our cyber slashes on that. Then another cyber slash on that. And we'll use that to get our extra point of Vim. And then we'll get our 20 barrier. And it says that on his next turn, all he's going to do is give himself 16 barrier and then upgrade his offensive subroutine. So he's going to buff himself. In my turn. And so now he's buffing himself. And you can't see what his buffs are at the moment. It doesn't look like. No, but I'm guessing he does have buffs because he said he was going to do it. So what are we going to do now? So I could use my feral. I'm going to use my battle optimizer, which means it's going to open me up to some damage and some exposed. But takes your money, you pay your money, you take your chances because we got plenty of integrity. So now we've got our buffs. Did I roar on the last turn, even though I said that always said it's a bad idea? I probably did, because that's just how I am. So now I'm going to destroy his jaws. And you notice it gave me 1 thing of exposed as well. And there's his. He's exposed and he's debilitated. So you can see his debuffs. Maybe his buffs are over here. We'll have to look next time. Now I could use my roar. Or I could save up and... I don't have 10 Vim yet. So it doesn't matter which one of these I use. I could roar and give myself more feral, but I'm okay for now. Use that. Oh, but he's going to drain 4 Vim from me on my next turn. I should have been paying attention, and I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't counting my clock, so now I've lost some extra points. I am not a gaming genius, okay? So now he's got 63 integrity and 8 shield. So now I'm going to use my roar to get my feral. Do 27 damage. 27 damage. I'm going to use my unstable charge, which will give me some extra Vim for next turn. And I'm going to give myself 20 barrier. So hopefully, since he's only doing 18 points of damage, he won't be able to break through my shield. So at least we'll get to live at least 1 extra turn. All right, so now he's only got 17 plus 8 is 25, so we don't have to do anything except bonk him with 2 more cards. And another victory, my friends. Another victory in cyberspace. And this time actually got another gate breaker. So we could bypass all this stuff if we wanted to. But we do want to try and upgrade our deck at least a little bit. 2 hash keys. Okay, 2 hash keys. Choose between cards. All right, let's go here and do this one for sure. I'm not going to increase my trace level. All right, so I got another battle optimizer, which obviously I don't want to use. And a crack blockade or a thunder Z-bot. Gain 30 barrier and gain 1 amped. I don't want this one. This gives me more barrier, but since we're in the beginner level, we don't really need it that much. So we got that. Now I can either beat this guy, which will unlock this door. What does this give me? Nope, because that'll do the same thing. I'm not really worried about 2 more hash keys. I don't want to use this just yet. So I'm going to beat this guy, hopefully, which will unlock this door, which will take us to the next cluster. So we'll go through this guy a little bit faster unless he's something special. Every time this ice hits, it inflicts 1 exposed. On his turn, he's going to gain 24 barrier and inflict 1 unstable. Whatever that is. I'm going to go ahead and just do... So he's not going to attack me at all, so it doesn't really matter what I do here. Now your barrier goes away at the end of each turn, obviously. So now he's going to deal 21 damage, which means if I use my battle optimizer, I'm definitely going to take 21 damage next turn. Could use this, which will definitely... So I'm going to hold on to my battle optimizer. Use this to get an extra point of them. Then use code slash to do that. So now he's going to do 21 damage, which will do nothing to me because of the barrier. Alright, so now what do we got? So now he's going to do bullet hell. So he's going to do 4 shots that are going to do 10 damage each, which is essentially he's going to do 40 damage to me. Let me use my feral. Now I could use 2 of these to completely negate his damage. Or I can use 1 of these and 1 of these. I'm going to go ahead and completely negate his damage, just to play it safe a little bit. So this turn, he's going to give himself 24 barrier and inflict 1 unstable. So I'm not too worried about it this turn. So now, I don't even need to use that. I can go ahead and use 1 code slash. Unstable charge, it gives me 9. He's got 29, so if I do this, so now I've got 10 Vim, so this is going to do extra damage, which is going to take him out. So pretty easy peasy. So now I can claim these rewards. Now the way to this is open, but it gives me 2 hash keys, or I could spend 1 of my hash keys to get another icebreaker, which is what I'm going to do. So now I've got another icebreaker. Disable a target, watcher, sentinel, or gate, which is pretty powerful. So now we're going to open up this gate and see what we got down here. So now we've got 3 sentinels. We got a watcher. So every time I do combat, I gain 1 trace. This, another card. This is a heal bot, essentially. Choose between 3 cards. Random breaker tool, which is not too bad. And all right, so we're gonna try to go over here so you can see this one. All right, so I'm gonna go fight this guy. Actually, I'm gonna use this to knock him out, just for expediting. Does this give me money? No. All right, I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna extract this because I might need it. Go here, I'm going to give myself 100 intel. Now my trace level is all the way up to 9 now. I'm going to go here and use this. I'm going to connect to surface, which is the shop. So here we go, we're connecting to the shopkeeper. Now I could have used 2 of my hash keys to connect to upgraded service, which offers better stuff, but obviously more expensive. Unfortunately, I've only got 313 intel, which puts just about everything out of my reach at the moment. I've already got one of these. Now you have options here for re-rolling things. These are the drivers I talked about. Like if I bought this ghost driver, then each combat, the first card that you play would be decompiled, will go to the recycler instead. So those cards I had that say decompile, if I had one of these drivers, instead of decompiling it, it would just go to my deck, my hand instead. But I can't afford to buy anything, which is unfortunate. You see, like I can increase my trace by 2 to reduce the cost of adjacent items by 25%. So it would make this 25% less. Same thing here. 25% would bring these down within my ability to buy them. I'm going to go ahead and do that just so you can see. Now that brings this down to 285. So I'm going to buy that. And now I will exit surface, and now I'm going to get +2 trace, which you're going to see is going to raise the alarm level, and it's going to add some extra sentinels around the world. On this one, now what could I do? I can't see that. Now this one, spending 1 hash key. I do have a hash key, but I can't get over there, so I'm going to have to fight at least 1 sentinel to get out of here. So let's see if we can fight this guy. I'm going to do a little bit less splaining now. Now this one's got wings. If I defeat the wings, it'll deal 46 damage to the ice, but the ice will gain 9 barrier. On his turn, he's going to do 25 damage to me and deal 1 debilitated. Here's my new code. So I'm going to use that. And then I'm going to use a cyber shell. And then in my turn. Not feeling too good about this run, but it's okay. Now he's gonna do 37 damage to me on his turn. So I'm gonna use my, because I'm debilitated, I'm hardly doing any damage at all now. So now I have to end my turn. He's gonna do 37 to me, but he doesn't do anything. I wonder if it was just better not to even bother with his wings. Can I just no, I have to attack his wings. Do I? No, I have to attack his wings. Okay, because he's got a nice little shell around him. Give myself another Vim. He's going to do 37 damage to me, so I've got 2 clock left. I'm going to go ahead and let myself take a little bit more damage. I'm going to do this. Amped up. In my turn, he's going to do a little bit of damage to me. Alright, let's see what happens next. He's going to deal 25 damage to me. Now I can get rid of can I get rid of this? I got 2 amped. This will do 20 damage. Alright, so that and that. And apparently that just defeated him outright. I don't know why. Okay. But anyway, he's gone. So I got myself another icebreaker, another gate breaker, another hash key, and not much. So normally I would have to spend a hash key to get through here, or I could spend one of my keys. For this one, I would have to defeat all the sentinels. I'm going to use this on this to see what's on the other side of this door. So open that gate. Now none of these are the... Actually, oh, I did not mean to click on that. It's okay, but now you get to see what it looks like when I get to choose between 4 cards. Sunburst. Deal 30 damage. The next attack card will generate double Vim. Mim Leap gives me a clock. If I have Recursive Dream, increase the Vim generated by this by 1 for the remainder of the combat. So it gives me 4 Vim automatically, but then if I use it, then the turn after that it'll give me 5, and so on and so on. Overflow protocol. Every time you generate Vim while being at max Vim. Alright, so this would be for like a max Vim build, which I'm not at the moment. So I'm going to go ahead and take Sunburst. Now to get out of here, so if I use one of these nodes, which I'm going to have to use, and this node will allow me to remove cards, but I don't have that many cards, but I definitely want to use this to regenerate some health. So I'm going to fight this guy. Have we seen this guy before? No, he doesn't have anything special about him. So he's going to do 27. So this guy's pretty weak. Pretty weak, dude. Now, since I'm going to be healing after this one, I'm going to go ahead and use this card. I know this can let him do some damage to me, but I'm going to heal at least 100 after this. So at this point, I should be good. So he's not going to attack me, so I'm going to use Sunburst. So now my next one will do... I can't... Yeah. So this one will generate double Vim. That's what it said. Didn't seem to. And so now, we'll see what happens now. So now he's going to do 33 damage to me. I'm going to go ahead and use this. And this. And this will decompile it, but it'll prevent me from taking any damage. And I'll use that to give myself one extra Vim. And as you can see, I'm already up to 13 Vim. So now we've got... He's going to deal 42 points of damage to me this turn. I'm going to go ahead and use my Roar. And... I'm going to go ahead and use this to give myself 30 barrier. And I think I can do this. So now I've got 10 Vim, and this one will deal 55 damage. There we go. So he's gone. See you later, alligator. See you later, suckers. Claim my rewards. Then I'm going to come over and heal myself. Now I only need to restore 100 integrity, so I'll do that. So now I should be back up to full health. Now I've got 2 gates I can choose from. I can use this cluster and it'll let me use that. Or I can use this by increasing my trace, or I can use this. So which one will it be? If I use this, either one's going to increase my trace by 1. I could remove a card, or I can extract 100 intel, 400 intel, which I'm going to do, because I get another surface one, because that was a big chunk of intel. Now let's see where this gate goes. There's the button down there. Button, who's got the button? This does not go to the core node. I'm going to go ahead and use the icebreaker on this one to see if this goes to the core node. The core node is the boss, which we should be getting pretty close to. Oh, he's not in there either. There's only 1 sentinel in here. How many sentinels were on this one? There's 2 sentinels in this one. This goes to hash keys, icebreaker. Sorry about that. That goes to choosing between cards. There's an upgrader. Okay, obviously we want to see the upgrader. So I'm going to increase my trace level again in order to upgrade a card. Now, like I've said before, I'm going to upgrade my battle optimizer. And that'll upgrade it. So now it only takes 2 clock instead of all 3 of my clock. And this one, I can open that gate by spending 100 intel. Or I can open this gate by defeating all the sentinels. How many sentinels are there? There's only 1 sentinel. What was that again? 2 hash keys or an icebreaker or intel. And this is 100 intel, or this is just defeat this guy. You came here to see combat. You didn't come here to see me chickening out, right? Uh-oh. Every time this ice hit, it restores integrity, so it heals itself. Great. So now, like I said, I can use my... He's going to deal 25 damage. And now I can use my battle optimizer and still have enough money for barrier. And use my zero clock card. So now, since I use battle optimizer, he's debilitated, so he's can only do 19 damage. And I got 20 shield, so everything's good. Everything is awesome. So on his next turn, he's going to give himself 19 barrier and deal 15 damage. I'm going to use that, which will give him exposed. Then I'm going to use that to give myself some shield. So he's going to give himself some shield, but he's not going to do any damage to me. So now I'm going to use my roar to gain 2 feral. And then I'm going to use this. No, wait a minute. It's the wrong one. There we go. That. Ooh, I need to do 25. Ooh. Oh, no, I can still do it. That's an attack. 27, 27. Yep. So that should have given me double Vim, and now I can use my... that. He's going to attack me, but he doesn't go through my shield, so everything's still good. He's only got 54 left. He's going to deal 25 damage. Unlikely. 26. There we go, 26. And 26. And he's gone. There we go. It's all gone. Do I want to use... Ooh, alarm levels raised, so... Great. It's going to put a sentinel right in front of there. How many sentinels did it add to this cluster? Just one. So now I can't even go to this door. Well, wait a minute. Is that a bug? No lo sé. So I've got 628. Let's go ahead and open this one now and see what happens. So that goes to another healer, which I don't need. Goes to another upgrader, which might come in handy, but we'll have to go through these two guys. It's basically the same one I've already gone through. And I'm here, which would go to there. A little longer run than normal. Have to use all the nodes. There's a lot of nodes to get to there. I don't have any icebreakers left. Now, let's try this. One hash key, but that would just take me back there. Alright, so now, normally I would have to go through this guy, but I'm going to show you this. I'm going to blink to here, which allows me to just tap alert over there and get past this guy. So now I can use... I'm going to use that to gain an icebreaker. And it gives me a disable target watcher sentinel or gate. So what does this do? Log scrubber, which I have no idea what it does. Choose between 3 upgraded cards to obtain. So if I use this on him, now he's gone. Now I can use this to choose between 3 upgraded cards. Let's see what they look like. The Mim Dagger gives me cached, which lets me draw 1 extra card. Deals 30 damage, and it costs 0. That's good. Pet Z-Bot. Gain 30 barrier. Choose 1 card from your repo and place it in hand. Unrestrained growth. Increase the Vim generated by all cards by 1 until played this turn. Each point represents duration and number of rounds. So I play it, like if I play at the beginning of my turn, then every other card will generate. I'm going to go ahead and go with this one because I'm not doing a max build. I'm going to go ahead and raise my trace level by 2 to get a log scrubber, whatever that is. Reduce trace by 3. So I spent 2, and I can reduce my trace by 3. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and open up this gate. Alright, so where is this master node? I could walk straight over there and disable him so I don't have to fight him at all. That removes a card. Choose between 3 cards to obtain. I'm just going to go ahead and use this, which will disable him. There we go. Now I'm going to use my log scrubber. There we go. This one, all nodes, all nodes. So I have no choice now but to use these nodes. So I can get 80 more intel or choose between 3 cards. I'm going to get the intel in case I run into another surface. I'm going to use this one to just remove one of our cards. Let's get rid of one of our starter cards. So we get rid of one of our cyber shells. Good. Now we have fewer cards to worry about. That will probably go to there, right? Either way, we can open them all up. There we go. Finally. Now you get to see me fight the core node. A little bit longer than I anticipated, but that's fine. It's been about 40 minutes, so if you subtract all my yakking, then you can get a run done, at least a beginner run, in about 30 minutes. Now this is the big Mamba Jamba Malbork. If I defeat the core, then it deals 350 damage to him. The shield protects the core. Now this is where I messed up the first time I fought him. Once I defeat the shield, then I will get 2 cards that allow me to do extra damage to the core. But I have to use those cards when the shield is down. So if I disable the shield, I will get the cards. But if the shield comes back and I try to use those cards, nothing happens. You can see he's going to deal a ton of damage to me as soon as the battle starts. And look who does not have any defensive cards. I'm going to go ahead and use this because I don't really have much choice. Use this to get some extra Vim. And then I'm going to go ahead and start attacking the shield. And I'm glad that I spent all that... Glad that I spent that money to heal. Because I'm already down to 246. Turn 35. So now he's not going to do any damage to me, but he's going to do a bunch of debuffs to me on the next turn. Got 6 of them, so I'm going to go ahead and use gain my Feral. I'm going to use my Sun... I'm going to use this first. That takes it down to that. But that used all my stuff. I didn't realize I was going to do that. Terrible accounting, aren't I? Go ahead and end my turn. So he's just going to do a bunch of debuffs. Alright, now let's see what we can do. So he's only going to do 33 damage, but he's going to give himself 33 barrier. So Thunder Z-Bot. Give me that. Give me that. Mim Dagger will deal 30 damage. I don't have 12. I'm not going to worry about that right now. Do that. That costs 0. Amp Code Slash. I don't have 10 Vim. I'm not going to have 10 Vim. I'm going to go ahead and do this, though. Which will protect me a little bit from his damage. I'll do Code Slash. And I'll do Amped Code Slash. So on the next turn, you'll get to see a shield go down, assuming he doesn't destroy me somehow. Taking a swig of my LaCroix. If you watched my videos from 2 and 3 years ago. Yes, I'm still drinking LaCroix. Alright, so now the shield. Now I've got all... Now you can see a problem here. 33 damage. He's going to deal 43 damage. Now I don't have a single defensive card. Now see, why did this take all of it last time? Oh no, I'm going to do this. Use the minimum. So now he's stunned, from what I understood. I will get these cards, but you can see I can't use this card because it takes 2 clock, and I don't have 2 clock. So I can use this, and then I can use Sunburst, or I can use Code Slash. Sunburst will do some actual damage to him. I'm going to do that. There we go. He's going to deal a ton of damage to me because I didn't have any defensive cards. I mean, I'm sorry. What could I do? Oh, look at me. But he was stunned. But now, this time, he's going to do 105 damage to me. And you can see that if I had one of his shields gone, on his next turn, he's going to respawn his shield. I don't have one of those cards that does a ton of damage to his shield. So I'm going to go ahead and use this, and this, and this, which is the only thing I really have the choice to do, then end my turn. So now his shield's going to come back. He's going to do a honkus load of damage to me, and now his shield's back. Now see, this where is it? Oh, I don't have it. Okay. Go ahead and use my Roar. He's going to deal 35 damage to me, so I'm going to use this for sure. I don't have 12 Vim. It does 22 damage. No choice but to go after the shield again. There we go. So he's only going to do 30 damage to me, 5 damage to me this time. Now there's that pierced core again, but I can't. It doesn't do anything because he's still got his shield. So I've got this. Do that. 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 We can't do anything. Oh! I did not mean to do that. I'm going to discard that. There we go. And turn. Missed input, missed input. Alright, so I don't know if we're going to win this one or not, folks. I did make some bad decisions. So I'm going to go ahead and use this. That'll take care of his shield, and that'll stun him. Oh, and now I've got Pierce Core, which will do 165 damage to the core. So I have to be very careful here. Takes 2 clock. Unfortunately, I didn't kill him. He'll still be stunned on the next turn. I'm going to end my turn. So he's still stunned, so I can't do anything. But now, as you can see, I have Pierce Core, which will do 158 damage to the core. And if I destroy the core, then it does 350 damage to him. So I'm going to do that first. That destroys the core. So now Malbork has only got 169. He's going to do 84 damage to me on the next turn, unless he's still stunned, which I don't think he is. Let's see here. I can draw 3 cards and choose one to discard. Do I want to draw a defensive card? Yes, I'm going to discard just that. So now the only thing I can do is play this. Play this. So I should survive this turn at least. So good. Now I've still got 63. Now he's going to self-destruct at the end of this turn. Deal damage to all equal to this ice's integrity, ignoring barriers. So he's going to do 169 points of damage to me on this next turn. Which you can see is really fair. So I'm going to roar. I'm going to do code slash. And another code slash. So he's going to do 115 points of damage to me. I probably could have saved that. To that. And then 3093. And this is where it all comes to an end, my friend. He's going to self-destruct and we are going to lose. So, I've never seen that before. But at least you got to see what happened. So, after 47 minutes, we came to a failure at the end of the run. And like I've said before, there's no run-to-run progression at the moment. So, if I was to do this run again, I would be starting from scratch. So, like I said, this game is in early access. My plan at the moment is to do 1 or 2 of these videos every time there's a patch. Okay? So the next time there's a major update to the game, where they add some new cards, or they add a little bit of storyline, or change some gameplay mechanics, I'll do another one of these videos so you can follow along with me as this game develops, because I am excited about it. I do love the cyberpunk genre, and as you probably know, I do love deck building games. So if you've stayed with me for the past 48 minutes, if you want to drop a like, that would be super awesome. If not, I don't care. I've got my LaCroix, I've got my sunshine, everything's fine. So you all have a great day, and I will see you next time.